Alright, yeah, we just came off the back of like a pretty intense episode of Bleach. So now we are going to do our best to react. Well, I'm going to react to, because he's already watched, Full Metal Alchemy. But he is...
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemy. I don't know. See, I'm still tired off the back of Bleach. That was a year blood. Full Metal Alchemist. Pardon me. And this is episode 3, City of Heresy, right?
Yeah.
Last episode, we got into the backstory a little bit of the Elric brothers and the trauma they went through with their mother passing and them trying to bring her back to life. And in the process, Edward lost an arm and a leg, and his brother Alphonse vanished into thin air, but he performed some kind of ritual as to get his soul back and attach him to an armor. So we know all of that. Put the little symbol on like the neck of the armor, right?
Yeah.
To bring him back. But from what we learned in episode 1, that is taboo, right? It's not something that the alchemists are supposed to perform at all, but yet he did. At a very young age, just to try to bring his mother back. And I don't blame him, honestly. If you had an ability to do something like that and you lost a loved one and she was all they had,
yeah,
why wouldn't you do that, right? And
their father isn't around too often.
Mm-hmm. And the Fuhrer had gotten rid single-handedly of the ice alchemist, right? He is
the
freezing
alchemist.
Yeah, the freezing alchemist. Very interesting power because he can also like manipulate steam and all of that. Very interesting guy. But I'm sure we're going to run into some other interesting alchemists, and let's see what episode 3, City of Heresy, has in store for us, shall we?
錬金術は物質を理解分解再構築する科学なり同化交換錬金術師に研究あり書は人体連成なり
あんたら大道芸人かなんかかい？
俺たちのどこが大道芸人なんだよ。
おい、ちょっとお客さん。
悪い直すから。
直すからって。
まあ見てな。これでいいかな。
こりゃ驚いた。朝が疲れたのかい？エルリック？
ああ、聞いたことがある。鋼の錬金術師、エドワード・エルリック。
僕じゃなくて。
え？あっちに行くんだ。
Everyone makes fun of him for being short.
コーネの教主様だ。
数年前にこの町に現れて、俺たちに神の道を説いてくださったのだ。
The guy who can resurrect the dead and grant immortality.
どうもこうも、あの変性反応は錬金術でしょ。
でも10日交換無視してんぞ。
兄さん、ひょっとして。
ああ、ひょっとすると。
ピンコだぜ。
神様、私の願いをお聞き届けください。あの人。
へえ、こいつがレドさんか。いや、あいにくと無宗教でね。
信ずれば、きっとあなたの身長を伸びますよ。
水35リットル、炭素 20kg、アンモニア4リットル、石灰 1.5kg。大人1人分として計算した場合の人体構成成分だ。今の科学でもできないことが祈ったらできるのかよ。
祈り信じよ。
ちなみにこの成分材料な、人間ってのはお安くできてんな。
人は物じゃありません。そんなことは創造主への冒涜です。
この世の創造原理を解き明かし、真理を追い求める。 神を必要としていない俺たち科学者が。
傲慢ですね。
傲慢ね。そういやどっかの神話にあったっけな。あった。お嬢さん、今みたいなことを考えてた科学者でも。
教師、面会を求めている者が来ております。子供と鎧を着た二人組で。
いや、待て。エルリック兄弟だろ？
そう名乗っておりましたが。
エルリックだ。
鎧男が。
ああ、おそらくな。
国家錬金術師がなぜここに。恐しいんで、なかなか時間が取れないのですが、あなた方は運がいい。
悪いね。なるべく長話しないようにするからさ。
副教師様、何をなさるんですか？
早く終わらせようぜ。ストライク。
ゴーヘル様。
先は知った連中がいたようだな。失礼の段お詫びし。競技を受けに来たのかね。
ぜひとも教えてもらいたいもんだな。
私の奇跡の技を錬金術と一緒にされては困る。いかがかな。これが錬金術で成し得ると。だから錬金術ではないと。
そう。ズバリ剣じゃないし、その指輪がそうじゃねえのか。
They need one of those to get their bodies.
どうやらとっ捕まえて体に効かなきゃならねえようだな。
そこに落ちている銃を拾いなさい。
はい。
錬術師を撃つのだ。私の言葉は神の御言葉。これは神のご意志なのだ。恋人を事故で亡くし。そうだ。私がお前を救ってやった。そして何を約束した？
俺が鋼の錬金術師だ。
何がそうだったのか。
ごめんな。違う。コーネル様は奇跡の技であの人を蘇らせてくれるわ。
じゃあ撃て。
Wow. Oh. Shot the armor pedal.
信者にひどいことさせるな。
何？
ということで。
中身が用意。キメラを見るのは初めてかね。
剣じゃないし、こりゃ丸腰はきつそうだな。
しろ、縄立てではないということか。だが
知ってねえ。あいにくと特別性でね。した猫野郎、しっかり味わえよ。
鎧だけの弟。そうか、そういうことか。鋼の錬金術師。
格の違いってやつを見せてやる。
Full Metal Alchemist.
He knows about the transmutation.
格の違いってやつを見せてやる。
ローゼ、この者たちはな、錬金術師最大の禁忌。
太陽に近づきすぎた英雄は翼を逃れて地に落とされる。
そんな。
これはロゼ、こうなる覚悟があるのか。
エドワード・エルリック。
痛い目見ないうちに石を僕たちに渡してほしい。
しょし、神の領域に踏み込んだ愚か者どもめ。
What the hell? He made a machine gun?
止まれ。ほら坊主、丸腰でどうする気だ。
怪我しないうちにおとなしく使える。
ったの
They're
よ。
running down the hallway.
さっきの話、本当なの？僕たちはただ、でも冷静は失敗した。人の形をしていなかった。人は蘇らない。母さんも。嘘よ。だって、兄さんは左足を、僕は体を持っていかれたんだ。
Right, it was his left leg, but he had his arm taken off later, right?
兄さんは自分の血で描いたんだ。でも兄さんは僕の自分の右腕と引き換えを冷静して鎧に定着させてくれた。僕は兄さんの体を元に戻したいんだ。僕たちが選んだのはそういうこの道だ。でもコーネル様ならなぜ
Come on, girl. You are blinded to the truth.
おっさん、腹割って話そうぜ。俺はその石の秘密が知りたいだけだ。
いいだろう。
賢者の石で何しようってんだ。
死をも恐れぬ最強の軍団だ。見ているがいい。貴様にもそのおこぼれぐらいは分けてやる。何がおかしい？
奇跡の技なんてないんだ。
Everybody heard that?
みんな賢者の石の力だよ。
なんてことを！このガキ！
Laser.
私は無敵だ！
リバウンドだ。
まだ諦めんぞ！
So he's turning himself into something? Damn, dude. He got desperate. Got desperate without telling me.
私の言葉は神の言葉。この拳は神の拳。何が？
Like he gave you the fist of God. Talking about all that.
Why does so much hair, motherfucker? Ow.
賢者の石見せな。壊れた。
知らん。私は何も聞いていない。助けてくれ。お願いだ。私が悪かった。
Wait, so it was a phony? Yeah.
知らないと私は
But it was a fake.
やっと
How
戻
was
れ
he
ると
able
思
to
った
achieve
の
all
に。
of them? Fake
謎の
They came that far thinking they finally found it.
賢者の石は
飛んだパチモンだった。
Yeah.
そう。なぜ？
言っただろう。飛んだパチモンだって。
独り占めする気なんでしょう。あなたたちの
Broke
体。
right in front of him.
そうよ。
He just wanted to get their bodies back. He knows his mother's not coming back. And that is preying on the innocence in your faith. Like some people do now, preying on people's innocence and faith. Innocence and faith.
そんなこと自分で考えろ。何にもすがる必要なんてない。
Oh boy. You got a riot coming.
私の野望を。
ちょっと混乱を起こすだけでよかったのに。
貴様。
ラスト、このさん食べていい？
Oh, it's lovely.
ダメよ、グラトニー。
Damn, Mr. Thinker.
せっかく盛り上がったのに。また一からやり直しね。
So I guess that's a symbol of their father. Wow, this got really intense. As I'm watching this, I'm definitely enjoying it more and more. The fact that the 7 deadly sins are coming into play, I think the depiction, like I was saying, of lust and gluttony are very interesting. The fact that there is a fake Philosopher stone, that means if one is out there, there must be others. So I can see that the Elric brothers' journey might be a little trying, because he's probably going to run into a lot of phonies. It's going to be a while before he finds the actual one. And I think it's very interesting that they've touched upon themes of faith that we are often presented with in real life. It's a very interesting dichotomy that they presented between science and religion, and many a time this is a thing that we all have to struggle with and deal with, right? Themes about God. Is there a God? How does that relate to science? Is science more reliable? Can you rely only on faith without science, or can you believe in God and believe in science? All those things, can they go hand in hand, or do they have to be complete enemies with each other and at odds with each other, right? And I think they posed a very interesting facet of it here, things that Edward was saying. He feels that as a scientist, God would not love him and would not welcome him into heaven. And he said something really interesting, that as scientists, because of their abilities, right, and their ability to wield alchemy, it's ironic that they themselves are seen kind of like gods. And then you have the girl who is a, pure believer, very strong faith, right, blind faith to a certain point, with this father
wanting her boyfriend to
right,
come back
and
to life.
believing that he can resurrect, and just believing all this stuff. And I'm not saying don't believe in God and don't be religious. I have respect for anyone out there who does believe, but in this situation, she was believing blindly. She was believing a phony. And many times there are people out there who call themselves the Word of God and the hand of God, and they prey upon people who have blind faith and are willing to do anything and everything just to achieve salvation, right? And I think that's awful. Whatever you want to believe in, you can believe in, but there are religious predators out there, unfortunately, and this guy was one of them. Yeah, and now the father has got a riot on his hands, right? Because he's got a bunch of believers that thought he was the true thing, and he turned out to be just a worm clinging onto the abilities of a fake stone. So I thought that was really interesting and bold in storytelling aspects for them to touch upon that, when this is supposed to be,
Touching upon
it
religion.
said anime is for children, but really these are adult themes.
Yeah.
This is what I keep telling people. They're like, oh, you're watching cartoons, and it's not really cartoons. This animation is different. The way they touch, this is why I got into anime. I always loved cartoons when I was younger and used to watch stuff with my sister, but I've gotten heavy into anime, I think, the last few years, right?
Yeah.
3, maybe 4 years. Because I've come to realize that the storytelling aspect is so deep. There's always questions about life, about politics, about friendship, about family, about religion, just philosophy. They can touch on so many things, and just some of the writing of this stuff is just really good. And I thought this episode was very well written. That conversation between her and Edward just intrigued me very much. And
find your own things to cling to.
Right.
She was all desperate, like, I have nothing left to cling to now.
Yeah, because she believed so much that he was going to bring back the boyfriend, but you are a person with your own individuality, and you say, like, get up on your feet and move forward. Keep moving. You still have a life. You're still a young woman. You can still find things to do with yourself, and stop clinging on things so hard.
You've still got 2 good legs.
Yeah, and all as humans have a vulnerability, and we're capable of making mistakes, of lying, of falling, of making poor choices. So she has to be able to believe that maybe that was a poor choice in her life, and she can learn from that and get better from that. And that the guy that she was so blindly following was also just a human that wasn't necessarily making a great choice right there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
clinging on to him is not going to help you. You know? So I thought that was beautifully written.
It was.
You know, and this is just episode 3. I mean, I think it's amazing.
It gets
what
better
they can
from
do
here.
with this stuff. It gets better from here? Okay, yeah, I'm sure it does. I mean, I can't wait to see what the other deadly sins are, what their deal is. I'm sure they have a backstory. I can't wait to see what the Elric brothers have next on their journey for searching the actual Philosopher's Stone. I'm sure we're gonna like tap into backstories of like military and the Führer himself and all that stuff. I would love to know more about him and what his deal is. You know, because he's clearly very powerful and strong himself. Anyway, guys, I've enjoyed this thoroughly so far. This is just 3 episodes in, and I'm already enjoying this, and I can see why Adar was so excited and urging me to watch this. Like I said, great writing and character development so far for this episode. I'm already like enamored with the Elric brothers. I think they're fantastic and they're so cute. They're so strong and so so powerful, but at the same time, you're reminded ever so subtly that they're just kids.
Yeah.
You know, they have a vulnerability and a sweetness to them, and their bond as siblings, even though Alphonse is not there, he's there in spirit. So that's going to tap into something with science and his belief in religion and the divine, right? Because if your brother is there in spirit, then there has to be something else. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself, and I'm just like, my mind is reeling right now, but yeah, their bond, you know, because I have 3 sons, and I love seeing them interact with each other and how close they are with each other. So to see the sibling bond, and I have a sibling, a sister myself, and we've always been very close with each other. So I'm always enamored with stories of sibling bonds. That, you know, it feels very personal and close to my heart. Anyway, guys, enough. I can keep talking on and on about this, and I just want to know what you guys think about this episode. I'm sure many of you have already finished this, but just comment down below on your thoughts on what happened in this episode. What do you think about what I've said? Interact with me. I'd love to know what people are thinking. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get alerted when we upload more Full Metal Alchemist episodes, not alchemy. And any others. I'm watching Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War with Adar. I'm watching many other episodes of other great shows out there that I am currently editing. So if you're interested in watching any of those, please, please, please don't forget to hit that bell. All right? If you made it this far, I appreciate you. And take care, everybody. Bye.